Hello and welcome to our video game character versus tournament, within which we will be pitting some tough and beloved video game characters against each other with an added modifier of placing them in a random foreign video game world and discussing not only which of the two characters is the toughest, but also which character would be the most useful in said world as your wingman or woman. So, this series will play out as so. We'll be going over the pros and cons of each character in a podcast style format and vote between the three of us on who we think would win out in said scenario. So, we're each going to pick 3 characters, 2 of which will go automatically through into the tournament, and 1 of each of our characters will go into a 3-way qualifier battle so as not to have any uneven numbers, which would cause an obvious issue for a tournament. All characters will be drawn randomly, as will the worlds or stages they will be placed in. I'm sure there'll be occasions where you'll disagree with our choices. If so, feel free to put your case across in the comments for discussion. All I ask is for people to be respectful and not be a dick about it. Let's try and have some perspective here, people. It's just 3 numpties shooting the shit about video games. No reason for the internet to get its panties in a bunch. FYI, we are vetoing anyone that isn't a main character and that is too OP, as that only ends in an obvious 3-way battle between Superman, Goku and Asura. Also, any game stage is going to make little difference to those guys. So, we'll save that conversation for another day. Anywho, that's enough housekeeping. Without any further ado, let's do it to it. So let's get into the 3-way battle. Okay, so this is a preliminary to see which of these 2 characters are going to be put into the tournament, because there's not enough space and we all had to have an equal amount of characters, because the tournament will be 8. You need even numbers basically. So anywho, so the characters are to be Oren from Final Fantasy X, Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, and Agent 47.
Fight!
Okay. And we're going to pick a random level or world map or whatever as a modifier for them to be into. So from 1 to 20, does someone want to pick a number? Let's go, Lou. Do you want to pick a number from 1 to 20?
17.
17. The Division. Right, the world is the Division from that game. From the game called The Division, obviously, strangely enough.
I'm feeling good about that.
So, okay.
Round
So, right,
1.
I picked Oren, I should say. Vanessa picked Cloud, and Louise picked Agent 47. So, what do you think then? Who's got the best chances? What about Oren?
He's going to be, to begin with, a little disoriented in that world.
Yeah.
He's a good man, and he can adapt to most situations, but it's going to be a little bit of a surprise for him to begin with, I think.
Well, I think I've got a bonus over you two, which I kind of looked into. In that he's spoilers for anyone who's not played like a 15-year-old game. He's dead, so he can't die again. Not from like a disease, anyway.
Well, you say that, but I've already thought of a problem with that.
He can't die from a disease, though.
He can't die from a disease.
Are you talking about though that he might be too far away from
the fireflies?
Yeah.
He only has a limited number that he carries in his flask. Will that be detrimental? I don't know.
We should be fine as long as no one steals his flask. Should be alright. Should be good to go. But he won't be able to catch any virus, so that much is for certain. He can't die from that. But
That's true.
You know, he'd also be obviously a badass to help in that world, help the Division fight off other people. I mean, he wouldn't use guns or anything, but you know, he's got a like sword and he can like summon fucking demigods. But to that respect, so can Cloud. Cloud can do the exact same thing. So
I was gonna say, but have you seen like Cloud's sword?
have you seen Oren's swords? The Buster sword is great. Don't get me wrong, I love Cloud, but Oren is probably my favourite Final Fantasy character, and his swords are the fucking shit, yeah? Some of the like Masamoons and shit that you get at the end, they're like crazy fucking dope-ass intricate. I mean, some of them make the Buster sword look like a fucking chump sword, to be fair. So...
the other problem with Cloud is that he's mentally unstable.
No, no, he's
Oren,
not.
He is indeed.
Isn't everyone a little bit
Suffers from
mentally unstable at
schizophrenia.
times?
yeah, he thinks he's somebody else.
Schizophrenia.
He lives
Yes,
his
he
entire
has.
life thinking he's Zack, and he's fucking, you know, just some fucking grunt basically from Shinra. So
He is a
Strong
badass,
word.
and he does have some great powers, but he's a little disturbed.
yeah, I think Oren
Well,
would,
maybe that makes him even better. Maybe he's a bit of a loose cannon, you know. He can get the job done that no one
I
else
don't know if
gets
that's
to
what
get
you
done.
want though in a division sort of world where you've got to follow orders from like, you know, your fucking division leaders or whatever. You've got a job to do. Although
on
to be
your own.
fair, he was in the military as well, so maybe you'd be used to following orders. But then again, he might be not wanting to follow orders because he's like fucking sick of having to do that back in the day.
It's all very interesting, but I'll tell you why I've already won this.
To be fair, Agent 47 is very well equipped for this world, isn't he? It's like,
Here's the thing, yeah? Before you came to the battle, oh, did you have a soda pop? Did you go to the bathroom? Did you go in an elevator? I've already seen to that.
I didn't
You're
do
out,
I didn't
boys.
do any of those things though because I'm dead. I don't need to drink. I don't need to eat. Don't need to poop. Elevators.
I reckon I've, yeah, you know, who's your mates? I'm disguised as your mate. I've already got a stiletto in your back. I've got the razor wire around your throat.
I think in a versus scenario, it would like Agent 47 would get his ass wiped, but that doesn't sound right. You get his ass kicked, not wiped. But in a fucking, if you put in the world as the more important thing, Agent
As the
47
battlefield.
is perfect for this world. And then it's a fight between Oren and Cloud, and like, if you take fanboyism out of it, they're probably fairly even because it's just dependent on how well you build them up or whatever. But if you put the fanboy, it's maybe Cloud. But I don't know. It depends what you think. Do you think that world is more important, the fact that they're in the division, or that, you know, the other characters being strong is more important?
I think you have to take Omnislash into account.
Yeah.
I think
It depends. If I think the distinction is, are you taking them end game or are you taking them at the beginning of the game?
Oh, that's a valid point. Because they're not that tough near the beginning. Are we saying that they've got a summon though yet? Because that's a fucking massive game changer, isn't it? If you've got a summon.
Oren can't summon.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think of that.
Oh, I'm hating to say it, but I'm leaning towards Mr. Cloud.
That is a problem.
boom. You're gonna suck.
That is something I didn't
Cloud
think
as well.
of. I forgot that basically you need to summon
Cloud
in
could
10,
potentially have any number of materia.
Yeah. That's true.
Alright,
Alright then, so it's, well, as much as I hate to admit it, we'll clear Oren out of this because he can't summon, which is a fucker.
I won't.
Although
we
I
love
think
you,
Oren could take on any fucking summon. My Oren could, anyone, the one that I picked up, because I focused on him. He was my main. Everybody else tied us. Yeah, you can fuck off, mate. Yeah, all right. So Cloud versus Agent 47. Then it's more obviously Cloud would wipe the floor with Agent 47 in a duel, but Agent
about their
47
strengths.
is designed for a division world. To be fair, he would revel in
He's a
division world.
stone cold killer.
And in an upshot, I think that Cloud wouldn't even know Agent 47 was there or a threat. I think that's kind of the point. Cloud would be busy doing his job, and then Agent 47 would be like mounted on like a, you know, in a skyscraper with a fucking high-powered sniper rifle. Whether that
I
would
don't
be
think
enough to
so.
kill Cloud.
He'd be spiking your high potion.
I don't know. I think Cloud. I think he's got more intuition than just like. Do you know what I mean? I think he'd be able to figure something up. I don't think he'd be so
Yeah, but if you didn't know
stupid as the common public.
If you didn't know Agent 47 was a threat, why would you?
The whole point is that he's a ghost. You never know he's there till it's too late.
Yeah, like all his victims don't know that he's coming. No
I
one
don't
knows
think
he's coming.
disease would be a problem either to him because he's never ill in any of the games. He is like genetically modified.
Cloud wouldn't
Yeah.
be ill either because he'd just cast a sooner or something.
Yeah,
So-
that's a fair point.
But yeah, well,
So the division, I mean, the arena hasn't proved to be too difficult for any of the characters chosen.
no. Well, there's 1 of 20, so there's different worlds and levels, maps, whatever you want to call them. If you think of it in like a Smash Bros sort of sense or whatever, it's a different map.
It's a bit of a roundabout thing as well, because you can keep thinking of reasons forever. But
Well, let's call it to a vote then. Seeing as I'm out and I'm the independent one in this, I'm going to go Agent 47 because I think he's kind of made for this world. So I don't see unless Louise has changed her mind. Then I think Agent 47's won it. Even though that's a crazy thought to me, because going into this I thought he was easily the weakest. But you know,
I've justified him well.
I think you have. You've argued your point well. So. Okay, all right. We're gonna, as much as it annoys me and it saddens me that Oren is no longer with us.
Loser.
We're gonna go with Agent 47.
You win. Perfect.
Let's move on to the next duel. I need to wipe out the last map. Okay, so I'll let Vanessa pick this time. Go from, you need to pick 2 numbers from 1 to 8 for the
7
characters. Yeah.
and 3.
Okay. So we have from 7 is Bloodborne Hunters,
Yeah.
which Vanessa picked, and from 3 is Lego Harry Potter.
Lego Harry Potter versus
What?
Bloodborne Hunters.
A peculiar duel.
Fight.
I think I'm fairly confident on this one.
Okay, now
Oh,
we need to
no.
pick the world as the modifier from 1 to 20. So pick a number from 1 to 20.
13.
Titanfall is the world or universe.
I don't know where
Yeah,
that
I've got
is.
this in the bag.
It's basically a Call of Duty world with big ass robots.
I've got
That
in
is
the bag.
literally the world it is. So
You think you have? You haven't got
No, I
nothing.
have.
so it's like Call of
Oh,
Duty
no.
but with mechs. That's it. That is literally what the game is. I mean, it plays a little bit different, but in terms of context, that's what it is.
Round 1.
So right off,
All right, bring it.
I'm the independent
I've
again
already
on
been
this one.
barong, bitch.
So let's start with Bloodborne Hunters because I haven't played Bloodborne yet, so I don't really know anything about it. So explain to me what a Bloodborne Hunter is and why he would be good in a Titanfall universe.
A Bloodborne Hunter is a hunter that is in Bloodborne, believe it or not.
Let's
He
clear that up.
no, he's basically a hunter that goes around and I'm really crap at explaining things. Just killing all kind of like
Take out beasts.
nightmarish monsters. Pretty much of every variety, I guess.
So what? They're not bad guys.
No, they're your main
No.
characters.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're the
oh,
main
you-
character.
Oh right, okay.
Like the one that you
alright.
level up and stuff, and you can like customize and that kind of thing.
I thought it was like an extra character or something. Like you meant like a monster or something.
No. He's the main character. It's you. You are
Okay,
playing.
cool.
as
I
the-
get it.
as
I
the
get it
hunter.
more now.
Okay.
Okay.
I think he'd be a lot better in that world than pissing Lego Harry Potter. He'd be
Hold
pissing
on.
his pants.
Hold your
He'd be
horses.
piss his pants.
What else do you have to deal with? They are powered by the blood of old Yharnam.
Yeah.
And they are potentially likely to go blood crazy.
I don't know what this means, but okay.
It's a potential,
Okay.
I guess, but
The more that they fight, the more
Is
they're
it-
in danger of basically.
Is it like
You're
Malice
into the
from
beast.
Shadow Hearts?
A little, yeah.
Yeah.
The more exposure to the hunt, the more likely they are to go over the edge and go crazy.
Right. Okay.
But they're not doing. They're not in the
Also,
hunt.
I know, but here's my point.
Okay.
The problem that you have is that more blood is not going to be available to them. They're not going to be able to go back to the dream.
Right.
How do you know?
So you would have a limited amount of
Who
blood
says-
vials with you as you appear there.
Who says that they're not gonna have like a little light in the Titan world?
A little what? A
A
light.
light?
They've got yeah, the lamppost, the
A bonfire. A
no,
lamppost,
that's-
yeah.
lamppost. That's dark side.
Okay.
So who says there's not gonna have one? They've got to
Sounds-
get there somewhere, haven't they?
I suppose you might find a lamppost. Are there
I'm gonna
lampposts,
find a
Nathan?
I would imagine
Basically,
they're
the
lampposts. I don't know if they're enchanted lampposts. But then again, Lego Harry Potter could throw him a bone and make one.
Oh, no way.
could
I'm
enchant
not
a
helping
lamp-
you for shit. Let's say it. I don't need to say very much at all about Mr. Harry Potter in Lego form. He's going to be a badass.
He's gonna be weird. Everybody's gonna think he's a little fucking droid or something. They're like, mate, why are you all blocky? Did you have like an accident in a fucking industrial crusher as a child or something? What happened there?
But technically, Harry Potter is immortal.
Is he? Oh,
If he breaks
'cause-
apart, he can be put back together.
Well, yeah, but you could do the thing that you could do with any immortal. You could take their pieces, lock them in boxes, and put them in the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, but he's not dead. He'll be waiting to make his comeback.
That's
Wingardium Leviosa. He has
Snap
great
his
magic
wand.
at his disposal.
What about Flipendo? That's a powerful one.
That's not even
That's not a real
spell.
one.
What? But
That's
Oh, it's in the
only
games
game.
though. It is in
Was
the
in that-
games.
I suppose
PlayStation
it's in
game.
the games.
But he always kind of like he needs his friends though. Like no matter what you say, he goes a bit like he's a bit shit without his friends, isn't he? He's got all this power, but really it's like Ron and Hermione who always save his ass all the
Possibly.
time, and they ain't there.
Do they? Do they
All
always
the
save his
time.
ass?
Hermione does. I don't know
Yeah.
about Ron.
Ron's like the
What else can Lego Harry Potter do? He can make a polyjuice potion, and he can turn into anybody else. He feels like.
Here's the thing I was thinking. Could he not just control one of the Titanfall robots with like magic?
Almost
Well,
certainly.
Or like
He has
loads of
all
them?
magic that's available to him in the game, so he's got options. I can't really defend him. It's so crazy. The pairing, it's like I'm trying.
Could you the graphic for these two when they're like versus? It's gonna be like a tweeny little weird Harry Potter, but he's actually like really powerful, and then this fucking sick ass monster dude.
I think he's just annihilating. Like I know he's got a lot of like he's like magic.
Yeah, but
and
to be
stuff,
fair,
but he's
couldn't
not got
Harry
any-
Potter just Wingardium Leviosa into the sky and then just I don't know?
Yeah, but he can only control it for so long. It's not like it's like a
Yeah,
permanent
but then he
thing.
could just switch in and Avada Kedavra him. I don't know if Harry Potter would ever do that, but
Of course, he'd never do that because he's too soft.
yeah, but
did
what
like
about
that.
A hunter.
he,
Book
yeah?
7.
Does he kill
Yeah.
To who?
Voldemort?
To who?
No?
Who does he Avada Kedavra?
He uses it on several people. He's becoming a bit angsty by the later ones.
He kills people.
I don't know if he ever kills anybody, but he does use the spell.
He tries to use it. I know that.
But he does, if he doesn't.
What
succeed,
about
then
that Locomotive Mortis though? That doesn't kill him. Doesn't that just like
locomotive? Or...
freeze him or something?
Total paralysis.
He could just do that and put you in a box.
He's got magic, Vanessa. What are you bringing?
Right. Okay. All right. Fair enough then. When you're fighting the bosses in Bloodborne and stuff, like and even the enemies, they're constantly shooting their magical hoodoo at you, like in like special moves and all that kind of shit, and you have to dodge them all the time. Like wizards can miss. This hunter,
That
he's
is-
like
that
he's
is a
on the
fair-
shit.
That is a fair statement.
could maybe
and
dodge
they do dodge one another's spells.
But you'd have to ask.
And this is what this guy's built for.
Is it not more a defensive thing though? What's his offense to Harry Potter?
His offense is that he's got like fucking whatever weapon you can. He's got like well, not hundreds, but like tons of like weapons you can choose.
Yeah, but are they weapons that could do damage? Because he could just do that fucking defensive swash that they're taught in dueling school and just, you know, mug it.
No,
Yeah.
they're like some of them are like massive like maces. Some of them are like huge swords. Some of them are good. Well, he's got guns for God's sake. He's got.
Yeah,
guns.
but swords and guns are not impressive to a wizard, to be fair.
Okay, but I'm not here to impress. I'm here to kick his ass.
So, I think seeing unless anyone wants to change their mind on who we're voting, I get the deciding vote. I'm genuinely not trying to do any favoritism here, but I think I'm gonna have to give it to Lego Harry Potter because
Are you taking the piss?
in a division world, he would be most useful to either side.
He's not in Division. He's in Titan.
Sorry, Titanfall.
Balls. God damn it.
Sorry, he could help any team with their robots. He could like enchant their robots and make their entire army a lot tougher. Plus, in a versus match, I feel like
Harry Potter's only got so much like power. He's can't like. Do you know what I mean? He's gonna get a bit old.
Yeah, but he's moved.
He's the chosen one.
He's
for
got.
Meta.
I would feel
Chosen
like
for-
Bloodborne would be a fair rival, the character from Bloodborne, but I feel like he'd be on the defense more than he would be on the attack. Because I feel like his offense isn't quite as powerful as what Lego Harry Potter's potential offense is, as stupid as that sounds.
But he's got a whole like inventory of like fucking awesome potions that.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
are
know.
they a
He
match?
has got- they do?
Some kind of not exactly magic, but he has got tricks up his sleeve. But I feel that a wizard could counter most things.
No, see, he's got lead elixir, blue elixir. He's got sedatives. He could just slip one of them to poor old thingy.
Yeah, but how's he going to get close enough? I'm going to have to give it to Lego Harry Potter on this one, I'm afraid.
Favoritism, that's bullshit.
Okay, so believe it or not, the Bloodborne Hunter has been knocked out. And
That sounds ridiculous,
beaten by Lego
but
Harry
it's
Potter.
true.
So there we go.
You win. Perfect.
Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Louise, pick two numbers from 1 to 8.
1 and 2.
Okay, 1 and 2 are Dante from Devil May Cry and Mewtwo from Pokemon.
Fight.
Mewtwo or Mewtwo?
Mewtwo.
This sound like you said Mew.
And a world, please, from 1 to 20. Obviously, I'll disclude if you do any duplicates that I've already removed from the numbers.
19.
19 is Dragon Quest. The universe and world of Dragon Quest.
And it's Mewtwo against who?
Dante from Devil May Cry.
You'll have to
So-
pitch into me.
Do you not know who Dante is?
Yeah, but not in detail.
Right, basically Dante is the son of a god, so he's technically a half god, but to be fair, he beats so many gods that it doesn't really matter. It's kind of like a Hercules
demon.
stick,
He's
I
a
suppose.
demon. Sparta is a
Give it.
demon.
Yeah, so he's like the son of the Demon
He's a-
King or
yeah.
whatever, which is the god of like the underworld or whatever the fuck it is. So yeah, he's a badass and
A demigod.
yeah, at least.
Okay.
So
Round
I think,
one.
like, to be fair, he's kind of hard to kill. Like one of your first moments in the first game that you really get to figure out who he is and what his sort of power is. You go into this like corridor or whatever, and then there's this puzzle or something, and like it's basically a trap, and you're trying to get your sword for the first time, and how it like sees whether you're worthy or whatever or tough enough. It basically jumps out of the thing, spins at you, and impales you through the chest. And this is basically the first meeting with like your main weapon. And it's like massive. It's like a Buster Sword, and it's straight through your chest, and you think, oh, what the fuck? How am I dead already? And then he's just like laughs, and he's like, oh, is that it or whatever, and just like pulls the fucking the sword out of his chest, and he's like, oh, this is cool. Let's fucking rock. You know, let's go with this. So, if you can take a like massive Buster Sword to the chest, you're gonna struggle to kill him. To be fair.
Okay.
So, you know, I mean, Dragon Quest is kind of a weird one as what would be best in it. It depends. I mean, if you're on a quest, it doesn't really matter so much because Dante would be just like one of the other characters. However, Mewtwo would fit in with the whole
He would
monsters
suit that world.
theme, wouldn't he? So.
Yeah, plus he's like, I don't know if I get the right word. He's got telekinesis, hasn't he? And like.
Yeah, but you can't like mind control or anything, can he? So,
Yes, he can.
Yeah.
Can he?
He absolutely can.
What, a human?
He has psychic powers. Yeah, he controls humans.
Yeah, but he couldn't control
Yeah,
Dante.
Also,
Gods can't
he
control
also-
Dante.
Yeah, but he ain't a god. It's a different ballpark.
He is a
also
god. He kills
has
the
the power.
king of gods, of the fucking demons. He kills him. That's like
So,
one of the bosses.
Mewtwo would also have the power. He gathers thousands of Pokemon to him with his like magnetism and his psychic powers. So he could certainly do the same with the denizens of the Dragon Quest world. So I would say that you are not so much looking at one enemy as Mewtwo plus any badasses from Dragon Quest.
Yeah, but doesn't
Yeah.
everybody have that ability? Because is it Dragon Quest 7, you get like an enemy skill thing where you can... It's like Pokemon, you can basically
Yeah,
catch
possibly.
anything. So anyone can have that ability, really. So it's not per se unique. I mean, as a quester, he wouldn't be that much different from... Like, in power, I think he'd be superior, but he wouldn't be that much different from one of the main characters you play as. You know. So, besides, here's the thing with Mewtwo though, is he a good guy? He's not always, he's kind of like, he can be a bad guy. I mean, he's kind of taken advantage of, to be fair, but he can be kind of bad at times.
I've got to admit that is a kind of a good point and stuff.
It's like,
'Cause
would
I can
he
just get a bit
help out
self-absorbed.
the people who needed help, the main characters? Or would he go, oh, I don't know.
No, I'm going to say yeah, he will, because at the end of the day, like, he starts off evil and stuff, but then,
Yeah.
like, we're not evil. Evil's a strong word, I think, but he's very
angry at
He's very
humans.
angry, yeah, and he's very self-orientated, if that makes sense. So, but then he has a turnaround, and he thinks, you know, he sees a different side to the humans and stuff, and he grows compassionate towards them. So, if you're talking about the Mewtwo that, you know, after the first movie, then yeah, most definitely so. I reckon he'd want to help out. And in fact, doesn't he show up later again in another movie or like more programs or some stuff?
Yeah, he's in.
Oh,
He's
he's in
obviously,
it.
yeah, if you're talking about the games, he's in like every game technically, because whatever person that who's caught him, although you shouldn't technically be able to really catch a legendary, but then there's Master Balls and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
But if you're going on the
I
game
reckon
context, which is probably more relevant for this discussion, then
Yeah, of course it is. But yeah, I reckon so. Well, even more so then, if you can capture Mewtwo, then if someone's captured
Here's
him,
the
then
thing
yeah.
though, Mewtwo's just one powerful Pokemon. He's not Arceus, he's not the god of the Pokemon. Whereas Dante is essentially like a god. There is no one that's
Not
ever
of
been
the
more...
Pokemon though.
Yeah, but of anything.
Like, that point's completely and utterly invalid.
He's the king of the gods, yeah?
Yeah.
Arceus would
the
be his
gods.
pet. Hmm? So what
The
would Mewtwo
Pokemon,
be?
they don't care about gods. They just want to be treated right.
They do.
Don't matter.
They want to find friendship. and
Yeah, find
loyalty.
friendship and love.
Oh, that sounds
So, you know.
shit. I definitely would want to go with Dante. At least his quick fucking wit would keep things interesting, not make me want to puke over myself. But...
Mewtwo's quite witty. He's quite like sarcastic and stuff, isn't he? Like
Yes,
that
he's
kind
got
of like.
a sexy voice.
Yeah, he's got. A
Yeah,
husky
but
little
Dante
voice.
is kind of a sexy
He's
fella.
got the
I'm not-
same voice as Yu-Gi-Oh guy.
Yeah, but so you would rather get with Mewtwo than Dante? That says a lot about you.
He can make you think whatever you want to think.
Which
It's
Dante.
fine.
In
Not-
a couple of them, he's really attractive, but
not
in the
the-
newer ones, he's got a
no.
weird pig nose,
Not that.
and that
Not that emo
Yeah.
Dante. I'm not interested in emo Dante.
I don't like that emo Dante.
No.
He's got a weird pig nose. I know I would pick Mewtwo.
My
I'll
Dante.
just turn the light off.
My
Yeah, but he
Dante.
would make you think whatever you wanted him to be like. He'd be like
Oh,
completely
yeah.
red.
That's,
See?
that's
Creepy.
creepy.
Pokemon love.
It's still
Maybe like
fucking
maybe if
an
he's not good
animal,
at battle,
essentially.
then he could be like, I don't know, some massive like pimp or something. And like,
What?
you know.
This took a
Well,
weird
Lily's
turn.
going down the sexy line, ain't she?
That was just an observation. I'm not sure it's relevant to the task in hand.
Yeah, my Dante is Dante from Devil May Cry 1 anyway, so...
All right.
Alright, should we come to a conclusion then? Seeing as my character was Dante and Vanessa's character was Mewtwo, I presume
I do have a conclusion.
that would be...
Come on, do me solid.
Well, no,
I'd
pick up...
love to,
No, it's not about...
Vanessa, But I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. I don't think Mewtwo would really want to fight. Mewtwo, in the end, all he wants to do is go and live his separate life on his secret island with his Pokemon friends. So I would say, I hate to say it, in a fight, I believe Dante would win, but I don't think that Mewtwo would die. I think he would go off into the sunset and live in peace.
Yeah, he always seems to wriggle
With
out
the
of it at
Dragon
end,
Quest
doesn't he?
monsters.
It's not...
I'm really sorry.
It's not a...
No,
I
you're
couldn't
not.
see it in a battle.
Well, you're going to get a chance to be the mediator anyway, another one. So, like,
Yeah.
this is about
Yes, it'd be
this is
nice.
about picking who you think's the strongest, not who's. It's not fate. This isn't about us, okay? It's not about us, people.
Yeah. All right.
Right,
I believe you.
so Dante is going through this round.
You win. Perfect.
Okay, so in the final round for this section of the tournament, we have two people left. So the two people left are Yuna from Final Fantasy X and Kirby from, I don't know, Kirby Games, whatever. And we need another world. So does someone want to pick a world number from 1 to 20?
Can I pick?
Anyone? Yeah.
11.
So 11 is Pokemon. The
Great.
Pokemon world. So I had Kirby and Louise picked Yuna, so Vanessa will be the deciding factor on this battle.
Round
Okay, so
one.
Shit, good guys.
Yuna, do you want to go first, though?
Fight.
What can I say about Yuna?
Explain it to
She
me,
has-
'cause I'm a bit.
She has some tricks up her sleeve. She is the orphan summoner from Final Fantasy X. She has a great legacy. Her father was like a great summoner before her. She has the power to call forth Aeons, which are like kind of godlike demonic creatures. Help me out, Nathan.
Yeah, basically, she has her major power is she can do all the things that the other characters from other Final Fantasy games can do, except she's not weighted to out and out attack per se, but she has the ability to summon basically, you know, like
Monstrous creatures to fight
monstrous
for her.
creatures that are sort of like little, or not almost like demigods, but not quite, you know, they're not intelligent in that sort of sense.
Usually elemental.
The more, yeah, they're more like
Okay.
they're more like mythical creatures. Like, for example, in 10, Gilgamesh, which is based on like a real like Hindi demigod, or Gilgamesh. I don't know how you pronounce it, but whatever, you get the gist. Yeah, so you know, it's almost like mythical creatures if you put it in that context.
She also has quite a lot of healing and protective magic in her arsenal.
Okay.
Arsenal.
That's where she likes to keep it,
In her.
in case she ever gets searched. Yeah, right up the arsenal.
You're good at them kind of tactics, aren't you, Nate?
I don't know what you're talking about. It's disgraceful. useful.
Okay,
God will punish
pick yours,
you.
Mace.
How dare you? I forgot who my... Oh, yeah, Kirby. Basically, Kirby is seemingly this innocent, cute, little stupid Nintendo character. And to all intended purposes, that is true. However, Kirby's main power is that he's basically like Ditto from Pokemon. He can mimic any power. So any power that's put towards him, he mimics it. So saying like Smash Brothers, he's against Link. What he'll do is he'll like consume Link or whatever, and he will then be like a Kirby version of Link, kind of similar to Ditto, and he will have all his powers and abilities and be able to use them. So he's like a character like, if you think like Tekken 3, like from Mokujin or someone like that. Do you know what I'm saying? He has he has the ability to take on those moves. So basically, it's kind of like no matter who they are and how tough they are, at the very least, it's a stalemate, because I can anything you can do, I can do better. So that's the theory. Yeah. He's cute, stupid, pink, and annoying, but you know he's a fucking. From whoever's put in front of him, he is a powerhouse or whatever. So even if
said it yourself,
even if the
cute, he's stupid.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if he's like Ditto, he can take any Pokemon and copy them, and then fight Yuna as that. So.
That's true, he's in the Pokemon world.
Yeah, he could take Arceus and just be like, bam, copy you. Or whoever, fucking Mewtwo, you could copy him and like, oh, I've got your power set. So even if...
Does he take on the moves?
Could totally take on Charizard.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Could Bahamut take on Celebi? You could travel back in time and kill, when he was a baby?
Bahamut would never do that.
Bahamut when he was an egg. Yeah, but Kirby might. If you go on some of the theories about game theories about Kirby, some of them are really dark. Like he's a straight up murderer. I've seen some videos about it, like where it's like, it's you know like all those weird conspiracy theory videos you get about stuff. It's like one of them. Like, is Kirby a murderer? You know, like he destroys worlds and shit. So technically, maybe he could go back in time and just squish. He could take Celebi's power, go back in time, squish Bahamut's egg, not a problem, beat ya.
You won't beat me, you can't kill Yuna, she's got life magic. An auto life. But maybe Kirby could grab that too.
She's got it now because she's learned it, but if Kirby could go back in time and kill her when she was a baby.
How can he get to her world? He can go to worlds, can he?
I don't know. Well, can't one of them, is it Togepi or something, can go through dimensions or something weird? I don't fucking know. I haven't really
only
watched.
Pokemon dimensions. I've never seen them go to Spira.
Yeah, but you don't know. Just because you've never seen it doesn't mean it's not there.
Yeah, but that's like saying the characters the characters lost, that mine that lost or whatever. They might have some. Hey, I have a point, okay? They might have some awesome powers and stuff, but just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. Yeah, but so I could have just pitched that.
I don't get what you're saying. Did they have powers back then?
No, because
what she's saying is that your argument is flawed, and you could make any type of win by saying that.
You could make any.
You want about him like going through dimensions and all that kind of stuff. Like you don't know. You've never seen if you can do it or not. How do you know it happens?
Someone in Pokemon, I've seen them go through dimensions and go into like subspace.
Yeah, but not into different like worlds. Like
but it's plausible.
Giratina can.
Yeah, see, if maybe it's not proven, but it's still plausible. Can't necessarily be discounted.
That's not solid enough evidence for me. Again, I think you have to try them.
So.
Also, one point against Yuna is that she is a massive crybaby.
Yeah, and she'd be by herself as well in this world. She'd be all there by herself. She wouldn't have any support.
She just cry
She needs her guardians, or even in X2 where she's like a bit more of a badass. If she was still by herself, whereas Kirby, he's the weird little fucking. He's one of those smiley fuckers that is always happy, even when they're kind of person you want to punch it in the face sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So, regardless of what goes on, even if he was in hell, Kirby would be all smiley and dancing about and shit.
Okay, my question is about Kirby. Is when he absorbs your power set or your skill set, whatever, does he absorb part of like you almost, or is it literally just the skills?
I don't think
Does
so.
he eat you? You said something about eating him.
I think he consumes you, but I don't think he like eats you.
No,
Don't
not eats. I
don't
didn't
quote
say
me on
eat.
this because
Nathan said eats.
Oh.
I think he's meant to. In some games he consumes them, but I think what must happen in like Smash Bros, for example, is he just like, I don't know, maybe he just like
Mimics them.
maybe like chews them for a
no,
second.
I don't mean
spits them out or
consume
whatever.
as in like consume them by like making them edible as a tasty snack. I mean like.
You mean they're like emotionals? He doesn't take on
Yeah,
their
like, so
emotions,
how-
as far as I know.
Yeah.
I think it's
How
just their skill set, as far as I know. So.
Okay. Okay.
So we'll have to
So-
throw it to you as the supposedly air quotes impartial.
Well, you both screwed me over, so you both.
Yeah, but it's not
agree,
about
yeah.
us. It's not about us. It's about the.
It is about us.
Can you?
No.
I've just thought
okay.
about this. What if, like, it's perhaps not with this topic, but what if Lego Harry Potter wins this battle? That's gonna
Don't
be.
mess with him. You can take on Kirby.
Mm.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Can he?
My argument is that
We'll see.
you've seen in movies and stuff, in programs and games and blah 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 blah. Like the heroes, they get to a point where you know they're weak and they're about to lose, and then they get this like a massive emotional boost and stuff, and they find this inner power and all that kind of shit. My argument is, if Kirby doesn't take on that part of a person,
But here's
Then-
the point though. He is forever infinitely optimistic, no matter what. You can't get Kirby down.
optimism doesn't mean nothing.
You can't get Kirby down. He's never going to stop.
upbeat.
He's always going to be up for the fight because he's cheery. He's fucking, you know, anything. He's
But is
always
he
gonna
evil?
Even when he's
and
like-
I think that might be the question.
He might
Because
be.
if he's truly evil, then evil cannot win, surely.
Yeah, mate.
No, that is a good point.
Well, it can win. It's whether you think. It's not whether you think it should. It's whether you think it would per se, or
I have
what
to
would be
say, he
what
sound-
would be best in that
He
universe.
sounds
Because
like a badass.
you could say that, you know, in a Pokemon universe, if he was the bad guy, then they'd have to unite against him. But would Kirby be a bad guy in that universe? Kirby, Pokemon, they kind of fit well. I don't know.
They do fit quite well, but I just think that, you know, maybe Una could find that, you know,
Una?
oh, I'm
Could
a
Una?
crybaby.
Una with a Y. Jesus,
Una.
I got like a wolf
She
pack
does.
outside
She
fighting
does
by
have
the
some
sounds
true
of it.
grit. She does.
That's what I
Um,
mean. I think that Una would come through at the end.
And
I
she
reckon-
can. Whoever Kirby can mimic, Una can summon all her summons at once.
No, she can't. When does she do that?
Yes, she can. All the time. She does it in several places. In battle she can't, but in the FMVs she does.
Yeah, but that doesn't count. It has to be in power.
Oh, why doesn't it count?
Because
You said
if they've
Kirby's
never
winning
fought.
because of some random powers that could possibly happen but haven't been proven.
Yeah, but
Sod it,
you
I've made
can't.
my decision.
You can't use them powers.
I've made my decision.
Otherwise, it would be in a game.
I've
It's
made my
part of the
decision.
game world, which
It
makes
takes a
legitimate.
toll on Una to, like,
I've
physically
made my
to,
decision.
to bring out
I've made my decision.
people of the jury.
People of the jury. I've
The,
made my
the
decision.
umpire has spoken. You sound, you know, like one of those people out of Tannoy. In aisle 6, clean up on aisle 6.
Clean up in aisle 6, please.
Oh,
Anybody?
the owner of a black Vauxhall Corsa. Carry on.
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah.
I know who you're
I'm
picking
afraid
already. It's Una. Get on with it.
The decision that I've made. It's been a tough one. We
Go on
both
with
have great arguments.
Wait, hang on.
why.
I'm going to do that thing like they do in X Factor and stuff. Oh, my grandma died and I'm doing this in the memory of her.
Una's
Please.
an orphan. Una's an orphan. Her parents are dead.
Yeah, but Kirby's alone in the world. He's all by himself. No one cares.
But he's
about
always
him.
optimistic and happy.
But
He's
He's
always
always
optimistic
Exactly.
and
and
happy.
happy.
Exactly.
Can't have a sob story.
So
And
I think
Even
he's
though
the
he's gonna
underdog.
lose, he's gonna be happy about it.
the votes are in.
Go on
Can we
then.
have a drum roll, please? You know. Straight up.
You suck.
No, it isn't about us, Nathan. This isn't about us.
It
about
is.
the
Here's the
characters.
thing. Though. I'm pretty sure Kirby's the better choice, but fine. Be like that. All right
It's
then.
fine. It's
Yuna wins through against Kirby, which can potentially copy him.
You win. Perfect.
Right, let's crack on with the next tournament round. So we need to pick the other characters at random. So Lou, do you want to pick a character from 1 to 4? Two numbers from 1 to 4, please.
4 and 3.
4 and 3 are Lego Harry Potter. 3 is Lego Harry Potter, sorry, and 4 is Yuna. So Lego Harry Potter versus Yuna.
You never
And
thought
now
that
I
would
need you to
happen.
pick a world from 1 to 17.
1.
Silent Hill. So this is Lego Harry Potter and Yuna versus, or who would be the best in a Silent Hill world.
Round 2.
Thoughts on that, anyone?
I don't think Harry Potter can go because I think he's PG-13.
Yeah, Lego Harry Potter specifically.
He needs a chaperone.
Although him and Pyramid Head might become friends
it
because they're
off.
both sort of, yeah, they're both into right angles. So
They're misunderstood.
yeah, they're both very peculiar shapes. So maybe they'll become good bad vibes.
I don't know what to make of it. That's the weirdest combination I've ever heard.
I don't know how
It was weird
Yuna would
enough as
react
it
in
was.
that world. How would Yuna react in a Silent Hill world?
She'd
I
have
think-
a cry first. She'd have a
She's
bit
got
of a
her
cry.
rayons and shit, but still, come on. I'd use oh, what's the fucking Venus flytrap one called?
Anima.
The Aeon.
He'd
Yeah, I'd
fit
use
in all right
Anima.
there.
Yeah, he'd fit in well, wouldn't he? He'd be good in that world. Yeah. So, all right. Let's just talk about them verses first of all, and then we'll go into their potential usefulness in that world.
Fight.
Not a lot.
Yeah, Yuna versus Lego Harry Potter then.
I think for Yuna's sake, she's kind of allied with the light. So I think that might be a potential bonus to her. She is kind of spiritual. Her other power is white magic.
Isn't it also? It's also like a religion, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sort of her thing. She's sort of very religious.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's-
there's temples and everything, aren't there? So.
Yeah. So
I mean, in a weird way,
think-
she's like a prophet or like a Jesus or something, isn't she?
Yeah, basically. I don't. I'll end it there. I mean, she's kind of got some benefits. She's got defense against the dark.
Here's a
Harry's got defense against the dark arts, but
here's the thing. Because neither of them are like murderers or bad guys, but they should be able to get out of Silent Hill, shouldn't they?
they may never enter it in the first place. They may get as
Well-
far as the fog world,
Well, yeah,
But
they're definitely at least in the fog
normally-
world.
unless you've got guilt problems or you've done something very naughty. You shouldn't.
But it's
go
not always that.
into
The first one, he hadn't done anything wrong, had he?
He's-
guilt, maybe.
He had a difference in that his daughter was allied with Silent Hill and he was dragged in that way.
Yeah.
But as far as the others go,
Maybe-
usually they've done something very naughty.
You'd have to presume it's a
But
similar sort of
didn't-
thing. They're brought in through a third party, then, similar to the dude.
Hang
from the
on,
first
didn't
one.
you tell me that in the last one that Harry Potter had actually cast the Avada Kedavra spell?
Ah.
He
Has he killed anyone though?
has he killed? Now
Still
that's,
fucking cast it.
that's true, and that's a toughie.
Here's the question:
I'm
what
not
about his?
certain.
Is there any collateral damage with his duel? His fighting off with Voldemort? Because if there is, he'd at least probably have guilt for that, even if he wasn't
He,
per se
what about-
responsible.
I mean, to
So-
be fair, Harry Potter, up to any point but the very end of the final movie, has a piece of Voldemort's soul in him.
Mm.
Spoilers, sorry. Which might go against him.
Yeah, so the Silent Hill.
Sick, crazy mind might bring out the worst of Silent Hill. For Harry.
So Silent Hill might be a little bit more difficult for Harry, whereas it would be for Yuna. In a versus sense, that would be a difficult one because although Yuna, she's got magic powers as well, really, but they're probably not as flexible as what Harry's are. But then Harry's probably aren't as strong.
She has healing and she has a lot of protective magics.
I'd say that she's probably the weak link though. If he could just evade Bahamut or someone and then take her out, he'd probably have he'd have a good chance of it. But I think if you throw in the dynamic that he's probably like crippled partially by then the Silent Hill world, which would be giving him a far harder time than it would Yuna. I don't know, you know. I mean, who would you want to carry through that world? You probably want to carry Yuna through because having the ability to call on like a fucking massive Aeon at any point would be, you know, super useful. You know, oh, Pyramid Head, yeah, and I can't bother. Giant Dragon, kill it. You know, but
I lean towards Yuna this time. As much as I love little Harry.
I'm kind of torn because I think it's in a versus matchup. I think Harry still beats Yuna in a
Silent Hill.
In a Silent Hill scenario. I'd want Yuna to take through. So I'm just gonna give it to Harry Potter, even though I'm slightly worried that he's gonna win this thing. But I'm gonna go with Harry Potter. So you're the deciding factor, Vanessa. Harry Potter, Lego Harry Potter or Yuna? Silent Hill world. Thoughts?
On the basis of Harry already has this kind of like battle with himself, doesn't he? About the whole good and evil and, you know, being able to talk parcel tongue and all that kind of shit. I reckon him being put into a world of Silent Hill would be, and with the part of like Voldemort being dark and stuff, I reckon he'd be too, maybe not easy, but I reckon he'd eventually be swayed into the dark side of it all.
He's just a little boy, and I think he'd crack.
Yeah, so do I.
But if he cracks, don't worry about it. We'll just put him back to peace or use some super glue.
Good idea.
Maybe I shouldn't have specified Lego Harry Potter.
Yeah, there are technically other Harry Potter games. So.
Yeah, like I'm not sure Pyramid Head's got any spare glue, so
yeah,
might be downfall. But yeah, I reckon Yuna.
Okay, well Yuna wins it then. So Yuna wins that round, and we shall move on to.
That's so funny though. That was great, just for the mental image.
You win. Perfect.
Alright, let's crack on to the next one. Okay, so the next knockout or versus match is decided because there's only 2 left in this, I don't know if what would you call it, semi-final? I think, yeah, that's what you call it. So this matchup is Dante versus Agent 47. And Vanessa, if you want to pick the world 1 from 17, although number 1's gone, so pick 2 through 17.
I will pick number 6.
Number 6. Oh, I've done the fucking name. Okay, that's an Infamous world. You familiar with the video game Infamous? You know, the
pretty much our world-ish.
Yeah, but with like
slightly
mutants similar to X-Men or whatever. Yeah, a little bit more futuristic.
Okay.
So
round.
Yeah, Dante versus Agent 47. I have to say, I think this is pretty much a clear-cut win on this one. I don't see a way that Agent 47 could kill Dante.
Fight!
Yeah, he's
with conventional weapons. You know, even in a world that probably suits him better, like a more normal world, an Infamous world, he could easily blend in. He could be any character. He could do anything. I just struggle to think without him being able to get out some sort of mystical or legendary weapon that gives him the capacity to kill at least a half god, if not someone who's capable of being the king of gods, or the king of the underworld at least. Anyway, I struggle to see how he could defeat him in any way. You know, even if he poisoned
a little
him, I mean, would that
stabby
kill
doesn't
Dante?
really do much. I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
A high caliber sniper rifle on the top of a hill somewhere. It's like you shoot Dante and he'd be like, "Ow, what was that? 50
Fucking
caliber? Oh,
mosquitoes.
okay, cool." And just crack on. I mean, as the first time you meet him, as I said before, he like one of the first weapons he gets a fucking giant sword through his chest. You know, it's like, and he just like pulls it out like I don't know, like it got scratched on some thorns or something, or you know, touched a stinging nettle. It wasn't really a big deal for him. So,
Is there any way that Agent 47 could get anything in the Infamous world? Is there something, do you reckon?
he could acquire a power? I'm not sure if you can get. I think you can. I think there's a way. I think in the newest one you can get like a stone power. I'm not super up on the Infamous world. I've played them a fair bit, and I beat Last Light and stuff. But yeah, I think you can acquire like stone powers. I think that's what that woman does, or she has the ability. Someone has the ability somewhere to be able to give people powers. I think so. They could have some sort of superpower, but I don't even think.
So it's a definite possibility.
Yeah, but I don't even think those powers could beat him. Could beat Dante, because they're not. I don't know if they're in his ballpark really. Because although sure they've probably got a decent offensive, you know, they're
He's
still
superior,
weak
isn't
to
he?
attack. You know.
I was trying to give, you know, be an Agent 47 side a little bit, try to give him a bit of a help or whatever, and I was
give
gonna
him a
say like,
chance.
yeah, give him a chance. I was gonna say that, you know, if there's a weakness and if there's something that Agent 47 could kill him with, he'd find it.
Yeah.
But
To be fair, yeah, he's
Yeah.
certainly.
But even if he
There's something
acquired
there
these
to find,
but-
superpowers, it would take
Like,
away
it's
from
to
his
know-
strategy quite a lot, because it's not really his style.
No.
yeah, but I was gonna say, like, you know, it's his job to learn about people and know them before he goes after them. But where's he gonna learn from about Dante?
Yeah. Even if he
I think
could,
this
it's
one's-
like, well, this guy's pretty much nearly immortal, so tricky. I think even if he had got the abilities, I forget what the main character's called from the other ones. Is it Nate? I can't remember. From the first two.
Can't remember.
Not 100%.
Even if he got on par with that guy's abilities, or he got on par with the girl from Last Light, where she can switch through abilities and stuff. You know, I still don't think any of those abilities alone could kill Dante. I think he'd still have to, on top of that, go to like the underworld and acquire some sort of mystical weapon, and then that's probably his only shot. But it's kind of stretching it a bit, isn't it? That he's going to do all these things just to defeat him. And in the sense of an Infamous world, Dante's powers is way more useful than you know, a hitman. You know, because he's then having to go up as a normal hitman against like mutants with superpowers and shit. It's like he's kind of out his league, really. So I think I think we have to vote, because there's not much more to stretch this one out. I think mine is for Dante.
Full House.
Yeah.
Dante.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so Dante moves through.
He
to
put
the
up a
next
good
round.
fight.
He tried. He tried his best. He exhausted every possibility, and then some. But I think it was too much of a stretch for him. So, okay.
To be fair, even after he's put in a coffin, he might come back.
He might.
Don't
That's
count
true.
him out.
That
He
is
might
true.
come back in a sequel.
Yeah, exactly. You should never count him out.
You win. Perfect.
Okay, so it's time for the grand finale. All the other characters have been knocked out, some pretty tough ones, and some of the decisions made and I'm a little dubious about, but nevertheless we've come to our finale, and our finale is Dante from Devil May Cry versus Yuna of Final Fantasy X and 10 Part 2 or X2, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so who wants to pick the world? Any volunteers?
I'll go if you want, if he's not wanting to do it.
Okay, pick a number from 1 to 16.
9.
9 is the Onimusha world, so the world of Onimusha.
Round 3.
So, Dante versus Yuna. Let's talk about them in a versus sense first, and then we'll talk about them in a useful sense.
Fight!
Okay, so Dante, they've got some interesting differences. I mean,
I'd say there's more interesting similarities.
I think you're probably right in some degrees, yeah.
Even Yuna's weapons in X2 are very similar to Dante's main weapons.
That
They're
is
both
true.
gunners.
Maybe in the end they'd end up being a better team, but that's not what this one's about.
They wouldn't fight. After the fight, they'd make friends.
They wouldn't. There's not a reason for a lot of the people pitted against each other to fight per se. Some of them definitely you could make arguments for them to have a fight. But yeah, so yeah, they have many similarities. They're both good. They're both fighting a similar fashion in terms of their actual fighting. I think what differs is though Yuna is her actual character is kind of weak. Even if you factor in the RPG element, which buffs her and makes her stronger, she's quite weak and she's thoroughly dependent on her Aeon, whereas or summon, whatever game you
It does depend. In X2, she has loads of like warrior abilities.
Yeah, but you wouldn't think of her still as
no, you don't.
Tank
Her nature itself is more like a kind of mage, really, isn't she?
Healer, you know, maybe status elements, a bit of attack, not really, depending on the game, you know.
But the Aeons are what you should consider, I suppose.
Whereas Dante doesn't really have anything to call upon apart from himself. However, with that said, he's near immortal. He's killed the king of the demons. So in terms of fighting giant beasts, I wouldn't say that would be something, even an Aeon, that would worry him, because that's kind of all the bosses from Devil May Cry are kind of giant Aeon-like beasts. So I wouldn't say that would necessarily worry him a whole lot. But yeah, so
I would have to say that the bosses in Devil May Cry, in comparison to an Aeon, I don't think they're
I know, I wouldn't say they're quite on par. But they're a poor man's Aeon. And if throughout the whole thing, you'd have to think the end bosses that are at least equivalent to any of the Aeons. Like his dad, the fucking, you know, god of the underworld or whatever, god of the demon kings, he's got to be on par with any Aeon, really. You know, so it's not like it's a ballpark that would fluster him. Do you know what I mean? To have to duel against someone like that. I think the thing that he would struggle with the most is killing someone like Yuna. But with the same respect, Yuna would never kill Dante either, because although she'd probably think he's a douche, we're talking about.
He'd try and come on to her, and she's really shy. She'd have to be courted. Flowers, chocolates, you know.
Exactly. She probably needs a bit more of a softer
for her tastes.
Yeah. But yeah, you got any thoughts on them, Vanessa? Strengths, weaknesses?
I think it's really tricky. You know, I mean, you obviously, like earlier, you made the comparison of like, you know, light and dark and that kind of stuff, and I'd love to say that, you know, I'd love to say that light would prevail. However, I think probably Dante, if it ever came to a scenario where they had to kill, you know, it was either like, you know, kill or be killed, and one of them had to die. Yeah. I think maybe Dante would be the one that would, as much as he would want to,
Yuna would flinch Yuna would flinch and take a second thought, whereas Dante would act and then take a second thought after acting, because he does before he thinks.
Yeah. I think she'd also be one for like self-sacrifice, like I'll go. Do you know what I mean? Like, If it was her or him that had to jump off a bridge or a cliff or
It
whatever.
would depend on what the cause was, what she was fighting for. If she believed in what she was fighting for, I'm sure she'd stick it out. But I don't.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to see how that they would be on opposite sides of anything really. So.
I reckon Dante.
But with that said, let's put the modifier in the dynamic of the world. I think this definitely counts against Yuna here is Onimusha, because the bad guys are demon realm. You know, it's all about the demon realm, and that's
Samanosuke
bread and
and
butter, isn't
Jubei, they're like half demons.
Yeah.
Albeit Japanese Oni.
Yeah, they're the special. They're a different breed of demon, aren't they, from the other demons?
And Onimusha is essentially almost the same as Dante.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's a very similar sort of thing. I mean, if you think about I forget what the guy's called, but the one from, is it the third, or might be the fourth Onimusha, where he's the god of the Onimushas or something weird, or like the embodiment of the god of the Onimusha.
Demon.
Yeah.
I don't know his name.
He fights an actual god at the end of that boss, because I thought that I beat that game or whatever.
I forget his name.
Yeah, I forget his name as well. There's nothing. He wasn't a bad character, but he's no Samanosuke. You know, even Jubei was,
I like
was more
Samanosuke the best.
memorable. So I like Samanosuke the best, but I think
He's a babe.
Onimusha 2 is the best game. Just
I
saying.
agree.
Although we got off track a little bit.
We've also got Jean Reno.
Yeah, I don't think he's.
That was a weird one, but
that was a weird choice, wasn't it? That's a odd little thing, but yeah, never mind. But yeah, I mean, Onimusha world, you could swap that out for Dante's world and he probably wouldn't blink.
They are awfully similar.
The only difference is that the time period, so that would probably be the only thing that would throw it. You know, because I think, although isn't in that John Reno one, that is Onimusha 3, they do go into the present, don't they? Yeah, so maybe it wouldn't have to be the time thing would throw him off. So yeah, so I think the modifier in this one, I think is just shows how much throughout this the modifiers have really affected a lot of the decisions in who. Because if it was a straight up versus and you didn't bring in the world, you know, like like in like a beat 'em up, you pick your map like your Smash Brothers and your Tekken, whereas that world may or may not have things that affect the players' characters. They definitely do in this one. So it's amazing how, because if we'd put Yuna in say a different world that was a little bit more, calm or kind towards her, like another RPG world, then that would count against Dante, so it's interesting how that plays out. So but yeah, I don't really know much more to say. I think Dante for me is the winner, but then I would say that because he's the character I picked. So I think I'll have to throw it out to you. I mean, this is the finale, so the stakes are high. So I'm going to go with Dante because I just don't see how in an Onimusha world, even though the Aeons are super powerful, I think if it was anyone else, they'd probably be screwed. But like Dante's perfect in that world and for fighting giant monsters. They're like, the only person that could maybe be equal on him with that level is someone like Kratos, and Kratos is a stupid angry ball bag as a character. So not saying anything against the games, but as a character, he's a sweaty ball bag. Just saying. So.
I don't mind. I think she's a valiant runner-up.
Yeah. Honestly, if I'm honest, I'm surprised she got this far. I mean, I didn't really think of how powerful and useful the Aeons and the summons are. Obviously, I knew they were powerful, but like how they would compete against others. So I think she, if she doesn't win this, she did a good run. And anyway, she did.
I think it's kind of like a no-brainer. Unfortunately, like you said, she's valiant, but I think it goes to Dante. Yeah. And I hate to say it because you picked him. But,
what can I say?
At least some of us play fair.
If things had come in a different order, then it could have been anybody's game.
Could have been a very different story. There's super, like, you take some of the other characters that could easily be a match for Dante, like Cloud, Kirby, who could copy his powers, Mewtwo would be tricky.
What is it with you and fucking Kirby?
Kirby is underrated. I think Kirby's secretly evil, and on top of which, he has an amazing power set. In this video I seen, I think they were talking about how he might have destroyed a world or whatever in like this weird fan theory video or whatever. So Kirby's underrated, yeah, just because he looks cute, you know. But yeah, and I think if you'd have put Kratos versus Dante as well, but I don't like that character, so I didn't pick him, and neither did any of you guys. So. But yeah, so the winner of the tournament, the first game tournament of game characters that we like and love and think we're tough and whatnot, is Dante from Devil May Cry. And, yeah.
But not from the new Devil May Cry.
But no, not the emo Dante.
We hate that guy.
Yeah, he's
hate that guy.
He's a little dweeby douche.
If you picked him, you would have totally lost.
Yeah, because he's a dweeb. He's like some little emo nerd who would have, I don't know, been too busy on Reddit or something, like talking shit.
With hormones and acne.
Yeah, not saying anything against those games, because I think that game's supposed to be quite good. Or people with acne. We welcome all types here. But yeah, I think as the characters, yeah, that was such a bad choice. In fact, they agree that it's so much of a bad choice that in the definitive edition they brought out, they gave you the potential to be the original Dante again as like a skin or whatever. So yeah. Anyway, I think I'm started rambling now. The winner of this event is Dante.
You win. Perfect.